All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 11 of our Elm Creek Oats and Goats gameplay series. I'm the Ultra Farmer. We've got a big episode for us today. As always, we have a ton of work to do around the farm that basically never changes. We've got grass fields that we got to finish planting and get rolled out. We've got contracts that we got to go work on. Horses need to be rode. The goats need to be tended to. We're probably going to sell some goats today. Again, it's going to be a busy episode full of a bunch of stuff, and I'm hoping we get to cut and bale some of our own grass slash hay towards the end. So let's get into it. Let's get cracking. Okay, so the first thing that I want us to get started on is rolling the grass fields that we planted. Now, I did not plant all of our fields in grass. I only did the kind of back two fields. Yeah, I just didn't think doing all of them really was needed, but I don't know. We'll just see how this goes. We'll see how many bales and stuff we get off these two fields, kind of our two or newer fields. And then I could kind of like make a choice for next year of, maybe we should do more. Or maybe we could even just get away with doing one of these fields. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, for now I just did these two back here in grass. I haven't planted any oilseed radish or anything either. I'll do that in the fall. I guess I could technically do it right now, but I'll just end up doing that in the fall, I think is my plan. So I wanted to get a worker started on rolling these fields. And while that's happening, I want us to go bale field number 16. That's a contract that we had accepted at the end of last episode, and we just kind of didn't get around to doing it. So I'm going to hook onto our baler, and I would like to go bale field 16, which is pretty close to the farm. So that's kind of nice. Now, this wasn't really a crazy valuable contract. Is this thing unfolded? It is unfolded. Now, we got kind of a hay bale in there. I don't know if it's actually going to stay a hay bale. Sometimes when you have a bit of a bale built in the baler, and you go to start something different, like we're going to be baling straw rather than grass or hay. Sometimes the first bale that you kick out is kind of what you had left in there, but we only have 20% of that bale made into hay, so maybe the game will just not, it'll just swap it to a straw bale. This really won't take us that long to do, I don't think. Don't have access to this land. Like heck I don't. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so that changed it in the baler to a straw bale. Maybe it might be different too because this is a contract. Like I'm not 100% sure, but I think actually I don't know. When it comes to contracts, I don't really know what the game would decide to do. Unanswerable questions, I suppose. Unanswerable questions. But we got a lot of stuff that we got to do today. No, okay, here's one thing that I wanted to chat with you guys about. First things first. And you guys put in the comment section what you think. We've been doing the collectibles on this map. There was 106, I believe, to start with. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was 106 golden apples that are hidden around the farm. Or not just the farm, but this whole Elm Creek map. And we found 10 of them. Is that right? We have 96 left to go. I think there was 106 of them. Either way, we found 10. And I kind of made it like a little side quest for us to go find all of these golden apples as just kind of like a side quest, something kind of extra for us to do while the gameplay series is on. I also kind of made it so that we had to be riding one of the horses, which is a rule that I kind of came up with later on, that we got to be riding the horses in order to find them or like collect them. And when we collect them, you get 5,000 bucks for collecting them. What do you guys think? Do you think I should keep that money, or do you think I should just remove it from the bank account? Like when we find it, like if it's like a little bit of a cheat to just accept that money. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. I was on my run and I was like, man, maybe you shouldn't be collecting that money. Like it's a little bit cheaty. It's just like $5,000 every time you find one of those apples. But then also I was getting to the point of like, well, the first few are easy to find. And then after a while, it's going to be like more difficult to find them. So maybe it's not that much. And I mean, if we got further along in the series and we had a whole bunch of cash, like really $5,000 doesn't matter. But also in the beginning of this, like we have 29,000 bucks right now. Like $5,000 actually goes a long way. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section. I'm going to go off. I'll let you guys decide. So if only one person comments, then that's what we're going to do. If you guys think it's cheaty, then I won't accept the money anymore. I still want to go try and find all of them. Yeah, I want to go find all of them. But if you think it's kind of cheaty to, or kind of, maybe I shouldn't be collecting that money, then I won't. Or am I only allowed to collect that money if we have like a certain balance within our bank account? Like say if we got over 100 grand, well then we're allowed to keep the 5,000 bucks. Because if we have 100 grand saved, then like 5 grand doesn't like really matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think on that matter. I'll leave it to the YouTube comment section to decide our fate on that. I won't collect anymore until I see someone's comment and you guys decide. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Probably overthinking it, but I want it to be a bit of a challenge. I like all of our gameplay series to be a bit of a challenge. The only reason I kind of collected the cash to begin with is I didn't really, I don't know. I kind of wanted to just really see how far we could take horses. I didn't really have a specific monetary goal that I wanted us to reach with this series. It wasn't really like about them like making a ton of cash. I don't know. Even this series altogether, I kind of just like having a like a streamlined farm where we raise really really good horses, but like having some crazy horse empire wasn't really the goal. So I didn't really think the money mattered. No, no. Either way, you guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, and I'll let the fate of that be in your hands. For now, I won't collect anymore. So, along this episode, what else we got to do is we got to bale, obviously, this field and get this contract done. And then we're going to move through the months. We're going to get into July, we'll get into September. And once we get a cut of grass off of our fields, and we're going to kind of like cultivate them and get them ready for the winter, that's when I want us to plant oilseed radish and everything. I don't really know if I need to do it each year, if I'm being completely honest, like to add nitrogen to the fields. I probably don't. I just more do it because it's it's just a good little chore for us to get done. I definitely don't do it for the money from the subsidies because we get like 200 bucks, I think. Like it's not like we make a ton of cash from oilseed radish subsidies. But I want the fields to be really good, and it seems like the system that we put in place of like doing the oilseed radish as a cover crop, mulching it in the springtime, and then planting our oats and doing all that stuff, like we really increased the environmental scores on the two main fields at our farm. We got those up to 91 environmental scores. So like it seems like what we're doing is working, I think. So that's the only reason I kind of wanted to do it. Since those two fields that we got on the back are kind of newer, I figured, might be worth it to kind of do that for a few seasons and see if we can really get the environmental scores up on them as well. So I think I will do oilseed radish for this winter. I just don't know about next year. Now I'm just going to tab over this tractor and get the AI worker started on the field right beside it so that we can kind of get this done as we are baling that field. So let's get a worker going there. Let's jump back over here and continue to bale this field. So yeah, I want to get all of our grass planted. I want to get to either, I'm thinking we're going to be able to harvest our grass not in August, not September. It'll be October/November, which I think November is our final month that we can get a cut off of our fields. So let me just check. Where's grass? Yeah, November. Right there. That'll be the last time that we can harvest. Or no, we can harvest all year round. Never mind. That's the last time you can plant. My mistake. So we'll be able to get a cut whenever that is, and then that's when we'll get the oilseed radish in the ground. The oilseed radish, the last time we can plant it is October. So hopefully that works out. If not, oh well, we won't plant the oilseed radish, and we'll just do it next year or something like that. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters. Now, I'm also hoping that some good contracts come up in probably August. Well, it'll be maybe more September/October. We should get some decent cultivating and plowing contracts. Obviously, just if anyone, as a kind of a little recap with this series, when it comes to the contracts, I'm only giving myself the ability to do contracts that we actually own equipment to do. So it was nice that we had this square baling contract come up, since we had a square baler. But I don't do like I don't do spraying contracts since I don't have a sprayer. I don't do stone picking contracts since we don't have a stone picker. Not that those contracts would really make a ton of cash. I don't do weeding contracts because we actually only have a hoeing unit. Even though the hoeing unit can pull small weeds, when you accept a weeding contract, if you try to use the hoe, at least this was the case I found in other maps, it wouldn't let me. It was like, no, you don't have the right piece of equipment. You actually had to get a weeder. Yeah, that's one of the rules that I set. Also, some of the other rules, maybe just as a recap, I'm not able to lease any equipment. I have to buy every piece of equipment that I own, which is fine. I have the ability to take a loan from the bank. The bank has approved us for a $100,000 loan. I haven't taken a loan because the rule that I set when I take a loan is that if I owe the bank money, I'm not allowed to pay AI workers to do anything, so I'm not able to hire them. So I don't want to take out a loan because I like being able to use AI workers. And even though we're short on cash, I don't really, yeah, I don't want to take out a loan. Now, we are short on cash a little bit, but also we could sell a bunch of horses and make some good cash. Like if we sold Groovy right now, we'd make about 30 grand, which I don't want to because Groovy's a good breeding stallion. Same with Urko. Mufasa and Applejack. It's just hilarious that these are their names, but Mufasa and Applejack are too young. And then for the mares, we got Penny, Opal, Millie. I think Brownie is the new one that I got. Kick all these bales out real quick here. Get these out of our baler. Okay, so that baling contract's done, but yeah, those are the main mares. Now, also what we're going to be checking through is I've got Groovy in that the barn or in the pasture with all the mares. Hopefully Groovy can get his groove on and get a few of them pregnant so that they can be having offspring within about a year. Their gestation period is roughly a year. So if Groovy could get to work and, like I said, get his groove on, that would be awesome. I put Urko in there before, but it said no suitable mate, which was weird. I don't understand why. So if that becomes a thing where Urko's not actually going to be able to be like a stud for the mares, then we'll just get his value up as high as we can and then probably sell Urko. It'll probably get to a point where we sell Mufasa and Applejack. Depending though, I might end up keeping them a bit longer since they were just little foals that were born and they were free to us. I might keep them around and then slowly as we sell off Groovy. Yeah, soon as once we sell off Groovy, then we'll need some good stallions. So it's all just going to be kind of playing it by ear a little bit and going from there. Now, I also would kind of like to sell off of our, this is like in the future, but we have to sell off our goat milk in January. Again, that's kind of a bit of a side quest. We'll get to that when we get to it. I'm just going to park that tractor and we'll head over here and watch this AI worker finish up this field. While that's happening, let's go in and just check. So these environmental scores are now down to 62. Which I don't know why. Oh, because there's nothing planted on them. Okay, that's why. And then these ones are still growing. There's obviously nothing planted here. This is where the new horse pasture is. So these will eventually grow up. Now, I want to buy field number 4. We're going to have to sell some horses or potentially goats when that happens to get field 4. It's going to cost us 60 grand. Let's go take a look at the sheep barn. Now, we've got a bunch of rams are quite valuable in here, so we'll probably end up selling some of the rams. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still kind of just figuring it all out with the goats. But these are the stallions that we have. So we got Mufasa and Applejack. They're quite young, 6 months old, 5 months old. Urko's 26 months, so just over 2 years old. And then in the other pasture, yeah, we got Millie. Groovy's in there trying to do business. Yeah, Brownie, Penelope, Opal, Haka, and Millie. Penelope's our oldest mare. Yeah, pregnant? No, not yet. I'm hoping these ones get pregnant soon. Hoping. So also what we're going to be doing this episode, we're definitely going to be riding a bunch of the horses, which I'll kind of just pick away at through the next few months. And I'm trying a new strategy when it comes to riding the horses. I'm not actually riding them every single day. I'm going to try this new strategy and see if it kind of helps out. Because if it works, then I'm going to be able to take on more horses, which is basically what I want. I want to have as many horses as I can that's like that I'm able to manage by myself. Even the mods that I can find to ride the horses, they don't seem to work. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the realistic mod that's installed, but it doesn't seem to actually ride the horses. I still have to go through and do it. So unless someone has any tips or tricks on that that can help me out on why, I've tried all the different ones. I think I have 4 different horse like riding or horse manager or different mods installed. None of them seem to work when it comes to riding. So I don't really know the trick or strategy behind that, but hoping I can figure it out. Okay, so this field is almost rolled. We're gonna kind of just be plugging through the months here now. I'm gonna fold this up and go park this. We'll slowly be plugging through the months. I'll kind of keep bringing you back through different stages each month until we're getting point to cut and bale both grass and hay. I think I'm gonna do 1 field in hay and 1 field in grass. It's kind of just my rough plan. It might change, but that's my rough plan as of right now. So yeah, I'll just kind of bring you back as everything progresses. All right, crew, I'm just pulling around to the barn here. It is August. We're into the next month, and I wanted to bring you in just to kind of give you an update because basically a bunch of things happened in 1 month, which is kind of awesome. So let's first go into, you know what, let's first go into contracts. Here, first things first, because I always do this. I forget to collect the contracts. This is our Baling contract that we did. So I'm going to collect the cash for that. Now, we're lucky already with our contracts. We've got 2 awesome plowing contracts, one for almost 13 grand, or one for almost 16 grand, and one for 12 grand, which is great. I'm going to accept both of those contracts right now. I'm going to take one of our tractors, probably the 4755. Is that what I'm in right now? Nope, I'm in the 3650. Let's jump over to this tractor. Let's get fuel. Let's get fuel before I forget. And we're going to head over and get both those contracts done. That could be a really good way for us to make some extra cash. Come on now. There we go. You just got to back up onto her. That's how you fuel up every tractor, isn't it? Good lord. Here at Oats and Goats, this is how we got to fuel the tractor up. You just back right up on the thing. Okay. Let's grab our plow. Plow is right here. And let's head up and, you know, I think I'm going to send the tractor kind of up to do the furthest field away, which is kind of up north, field 59. It's going to be a second to get up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and set a worker to drive up there. Hopefully it will work. I found that when I set destinations for the workers, sometimes they have trouble getting up there, but if I pull right out onto the road, I don't know if anyone else has found this, but if I pull right out onto the road and I kind of like get them in the direction that they're going to go, then when I get back on the map and I click on them, it's a little bit easier. It's like they have a clearer path to get up there. And I'm actually just going to set the worker to go right there. Yeah, they seem to be doing just fine. Okay, now, next thing that I wanted you to bring back in and show is, so we got our contracts dealt with. Actually, let's just go through and make sure all these harvesting contracts is not really for grain other than this sorghum contract, but it's far away. I don't really feel like doing it for 100 or 1200 bucks, 1100 bucks. Spraying, we don't have a sprayer. Deadwood, we don't have a chainsaw. We could get a chainsaw to go do that, but I'm not worried about it. And baling, this is round bales. So that's it for contracts. But back in the menu here, let's go check our animals. All Groovy. Groovy's now our new favorite stallion. This is Groove got his groove on, and all of the mares are pregnant now. So big month for Groovy, but we're all very, very proud of him. Now we got to ride all the horses and do that stuff. I'm going to try and find Groovy. Opal. I think this is Millie. Yep. That's Brownie. Where's Groove? Groove's hanging over here. There we go. Oh, I thought maybe we could make it, but we just weren't moving fast enough. Oh. The horses, like, they get even the slightest thing in front of them, they get jammed out. Let's take Groovy for a spin, and then we'll take him back and put him in the other pen with the rest of the stallions. Is kind of my plan. Right now, Groovy's going to be the one that we just keep, I think, long term, and just keep doing that, keep breeding the mares. Now it's going to take a while for the mares to, gestate and have their offspring, have the little foals, but that's fine. And then we'll just kind of make a plan from there. If we've got good mares that are giving us really good foals, whether it's a little colt or a filly, then we'll either just kind of get those foals to a few months and get their value up, because sometimes they're born and their value is like 4 grand, and then after a couple months of riding, getting their fitness and cleanliness all up to 100%, the cleanliness, fitness, and riding to 100%, they can be worth like 7 or 8 grand, and we could just sell them off and just kind of we'll keep the really good stallions. I think for right now that's what we'll keep. We'll just keep Groovy. We'll keep Mufasa and Applejack, and we'll just keep letting them get older and older. And when it comes time to sell Groovy, because I think it'll get to a point where Groovy gets too old and his value will start to drop down. And then once that happens, we're going to need like stallions to take the place. And for them, it can be either Urko, Mufasa, or Applejack, or maybe just some other ones. I'm kind of at the point now where I don't really want to sell any of the horses, if that makes sense. Like, I want you to get the money, but also, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaving a bit of value on the table, and if I'm trying this new strategy with riding them where, like, Mufasa and Applejack, I'm not riding them every day because they're not even kind of close to a point where I would want to sell them. And even if I did, like, if I don't ride them, their health, it's not like they're going to die. Their health isn't, or they're not going to be at the complete 100% effectiveness. So what I was thinking is, if I can just wait and not really worry about riding them, rather just keep the health of like Groovy and stuff way tip top for breeding purposes. When it comes time to either sell Mufasa and Applejack, I can just start riding and really get their health and cleanliness and fitness up, say like 4 months prior to when I'm going to sell them. See, like, even Applejack's fitness is at 80s, cleanliness is at 100. He's worth like, just about 8 grand. Urko's great. I wanna I wanna ride Urko and keep Urko's fitness and stuff way up, and just see if I can get Urko up into that, 20,000, $30,000 marker. Is kind of my plan. If I can get to the point where I have a couple stallions and a couple really good mares that are giving us offspring over a 3-4 year period plan, and then let those offspring slowly grow up, and then eventually do the transition to where we sell off the old, out with the old, in with the new. I know it sounds a little harsh maybe, but that's kind of my rough plan. I don't know. I'm winging it as I go a bit, but I'm going to try this strategy. Just ride the really valuable ones, leave the other ones to kind of grow up and get some more months underneath them before I worry about keeping all of their levels at 100%, which is what I was doing before. The mares, when they're pregnant, especially when they're getting close to the end of their period, which they tell me, like right now they're 9% pregnant, or whatever that means. Like, their reproduction, sorry, is at 9%. So they've just been impregnated. Once they start getting around to that 60-70%, I'll start riding them really consistently, really getting their health all the way up, so that hopefully when they have an offspring, it's just a very, very high quality horse, I think. Again, that's the plan for now. If anyone thinks that's a bad plan, let me know. I'm not married to anything. I definitely will change if there's a better strategy. Right now I want to get this horse rode. Let's just see what Urko's value is once he's got 100% riding. I want him to slam into that tree. Never mind. Did it anyways. Let's spin him around to jump in, and then we'll just see. We bought Urko for like 7 grand, 70 some $100. So yeah, his like value's already up. If I can get his fitness to 100% and keep riding him, we could get this horse up to 20, 30 grand pretty quick, I think. So that's going to be the plan there. Now, let's put that away. Close this menu. Let's head over and check on the goats. I still want to kind of tone down a bit of the goats. Let's go see if we can look in here. Yeah, like some of these goats are quite expensive or worth quite a bit of value, and we don't need really that many rams. I don't think. Condition 100%. Let's just go check the barn. All their health is quite good. Reproduction 0 to 80%. Sexual maturity 6 to 81%. Offspring in 1 month. They got 15,000 liters worth of food in there. So let's go in here. 32 months, 27 months, 26. Like, I'm thinking rams that are healthy and older than 5 months can reproduce. Like, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is go through and clean out some of these older rams. 26 months old, 22 months old. Yeah, I'm just going to sell these selected ones. $47 sheep in the barn. Okay. I'm just gonna stick with that for right now and slowly just let them reproduce. We'll get some of the older rams out. If we have to start selling some of the older female goats, we will, but I just don't know if it's worth it. Go in. Reproduction 20%, expecting two babies, recovering from last, expecting two babies, 13 months, 13, 12. Yeah, I just gotta wait a bit longer and let some of these young ones mature a bit more, and then we can kind of make plans once they get to 8 months and stuff, and they can start reproducing. We'll just keep watching that. They're gonna keep producing milk, which is great. We're still gonna take that milk in January. We've got 5,000 liters in here, which I'll just set to sell. Again, that will be in January. Is my rough plan. Okay, we've got our worker up here, which probably came up here a long time ago, to be honest. But let's get this unfolded and get a worker plowing this field. This really won't take that long. It's one thing I like about Elm Creek in this map is that the fields aren't massive. It just, after the Hard Times Hog Farm with the really big, and they weren't even really that big of fields. Well, I mean, some of them were pretty big. But it's kind of nice being able to just do a series with 6-meter wide equipment. Like, obviously we could use 9-meter wide. You could use whatever you want, but 6 meters good. It's good. This will take, if we were to do this time-lapse style, it'd probably take us 15, 20 minutes to get this field cleared off. All things considered, not really too bad. So yeah, we made a little bit of money from the goats. Let's head back up to the farm. Groovy did such a good job. We're proud of Groovy. And now I'm just going to wait and make sure that all these animals, I just want to make sure the mares do really good through their pregnancy and that they give birth to the most optimal offspring possible. We'll get a cut of hay and grass here soon so that the horses can have a bunch of food, which we've got extra oats, we've got carrots. We just need a little bit of hay for them to, just thrive. I want their effectiveness to be as high as possible, which is the goal. Okay, I'm going to kind of let the plowing contract go. I might go through and ride some of the mares and just kind of kill some time that way while the contracts are going on. And yeah, I'll kind of keep bringing you back as fall progresses. I'm sure after, next month, we're going to have a bunch more contracts pop through that we'll have to do as well. All right, crew, welcome to October. Now, you didn't really miss anything through, August and September. I got those plowing contracts done, and what I have accepted, so yeah, I'm gonna go do this right now. I got these ones are completed. I started this hoeing one on field 13. I've got a worker working on it right now. 1% complete. Let's go ahead and collect these before I forget, because that seems to happen. And yeah, we got our 3650. The John Deere's out there working on this hoeing contract, and I figured it would be good because we're gonna work on cutting our grass and baling it. Now I want to cut the grass kind of sucks because that tractor's busy, so we're going to have to do a little bit of messing around here. But what I'm thinking is one of these fields I'm going to do in grass and one I'm going to do in hay. I don't think it really matters which one's which. They're both, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it really matters too much, but I'm going to spin around and go grab our mower and at least get both of these mowed. And then, I don't know how long it's going to be till that. I mean, the contract's only 1% done, and it's said 1% done for, well, now 2. Okay, good enough. Also, I moved the bales, okay? The bales that were here, I didn't like it that it was sitting right here because it kind of had like an invisible wall when I was trying to go through here to get into the horses. So I don't know. I moved it right here. So all the bales are going to stack in right here behind the silos, and I kind of have the drop off area right through here. Oh, let me yeah. This is the drop off area, and this is where they're going to stack in. I think this is going to be good. I don't really know. Grass out of there. I don't know. We'll test it out and see. I don't know if this drop off area. One thing that's weird with the drop off area is when you go to try to pull bales out. If we're trying to scoop them and then we drive through this area, it can like just store them back in. So I might end up moving this somewhere else, like maybe on the backside over here, or potentially on this backside. I don't really know. I don't really like it on the back sides of these because I like to just be able to jump in and out easy with the horses when we're going to ride them. As you probably noticed that I do, but yeah, I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I think it'll be better over there rather than kind of right by by the OG horse barn. Okay, so let's get hooked onto these mowers. And let's go get these fields mowed. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do one in grass. I'll do one in I'll do one in hay and then one in straight grass, which I think will be good. I should have known that I couldn't drive through there. I've tried to do that before, and obviously the exact same thing just happened. No big deal. Get this unit unfolded. Yeah, that contract's only 6% done. Only once in a while is it like, oh, I wish we had more tractors, right? More tractors. Let's jump out of this unit. We'll let our girl there go start cutting. What I want to do is just come over and check on the horses and see how everybody's doing. See how the boys are doing in here. Urko, we got to ride Urko for sure. I got to get Urko's fitness up. So I want to keep riding him to get his fitness up and just keep his value really high, seeing as he's pretty far along, like in his age, if you will. He's over 2 years old, so he's definitely in the good reproduction zone. I don't know why, and maybe someone can help me out, but I don't know why he wasn't a suitable mate for some of the horses. Does it have to do with their breeds? Is there a way to find out which breeds work together and which don't? Is that just something that I missed? I'm not 100% sure. So like if anyone does know, that would be super helpful information. Obviously, I'll go kind of do some looking on my own. Or maybe it's just kind of a sporadic thing. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure because Groovy was able to like mate with everybody, and Urko was not suitable for any of them. Now, and Urko should be of age, unless I just needed to wait a little bit longer. Maybe he did need to be a bit older. I'm not too sure. I've been jumping up on this as well. Yeah. Let the neighbors know what's going on. Awesome. So we got to get some of these horses rode. I still am kind of just waiting on the mares till they get a little bit closer to their actual reproduction day. So they're like basically around that 20%, 20-ish percent. I think they're at 19% if I remember last. We'll go check after I get Urko Road here. I like opening the menu to see exactly. It should be good. Like I've run this loop how many times now, but every once in a while everything gets a little bit weird. Okay. Yeah, we got to get Urko's fitness up. Cleanliness is good. Like he's already at 14, almost 15,000 bucks. That's awesome. Basically 15,000 bucks. Unbelievable. Mufasa's doing good. Mufasa's fitness is still up, although I'm not going to worry about riding him or Applejack. I'm still going to stick on on that and just kind of test things out. But like these horses were essentially free and they're already worth about 10 grand, which is awesome. Super, super awesome. Okay, let's close that menu. Let's go check on the goats and see how everybody's doing over here. Yeah, 51. I knew there was going to be some little kids born. The goats are still doing good. They got 11,000 liters worth of food. And let's just check on milk production. Yeah, they've almost got 1,000 liters worth of milk in there, and then there's another 5,000 sitting in here. I still want to go sell all that milk in January. Just check on the hoeing contract over here. And how's our girl doing mowing? Not bad. So it's just going to be a little bit of kind of messing around here while we get these fields kind of mowed and good to go. What I think I'm going to do, just to save you me kind of going back and forth, since we only got one tractor, is I'm just going to let her go and kind of get everything mowed. And then I'm going to go through with the tractor, get one get one tedded and then the other windrowed. Then I'll get them both windrowed. And I'll probably bring you back maybe when we're doing some windrowing or if I just jump right into baling. It just kind of depends how everything goes. So that'll kind of be my plan for the grass / hay. All right, we've got both our fields windrowed. So this field is just going to be our grass field. And then right to the north side there, I guess that would be south side of our field. Just because it's in front of me doesn't mean it's north. But the south and more south field, it will be our hay. So I'm going to pull the windrows around here and just kind of get them kicked off. And then we'll go grab the baler and we will start baling up a storm. We're still working on that hoeing contract. As you can see at the top right hand corner, we're 94% done. So, you know, we're getting it done. Getting it done. There might be a bit of a straw bale left in this baler. I don't know if that's gonna I don't know what's gonna happen. If it'll swap over to a hay or a grass bale, or if it'll actually want us to kick out a straw bale first, but I guess we will find out right away here. Only 25%, so it might just swap over to hay or grass, whatever. We'll go do the hay field first, I think. I need to pick up the... There we go. Turn this baler on and I'll pick up the arm. And let's drop this down. We'll get baling this field. I don't really know how many bales we're going to get off this field, obviously, since we haven't done this before. Is it going to throw us? No, it swapped to a hay bale. Okay, nice. That's good. It was starting to, well, when it was popping out there, it looked like it was going to be a straw bale, and I was like, oh god, don't know what we're going to do with the straw bale. I suppose we could put down a manure heap and see if we get manure from the horses. To the best of my knowledge, I think the horses will give you manure, but I don't really think it will be that much. To the best of my knowledge, the goats will not give you anything. Almost positive on that. Like I said, I think the horses technically aren't supposed to give you any manure, but they might give us a bit. But I don't really know. To be honest, in the last few series, we did so much with manure and slurry. I was kind of thinking we would just not worry about that for this series. And that's kind of what I think I'm going to stick with for just now. Maybe that'll change. But again, I don't think we're going to get enough. I don't think we're going to get enough manure for it to really move the needle. I don't think anyways. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe we'll end up putting one down as a little bit of a testing. But yeah. So I'll get all of these fields baled. Obviously, that's going to be kind of priority number one. Then we got to pick these bales up. Now, run into this one real quick and see if I can kind of... Actually, let's spin around here. Put the grab arm so we don't grab any of that grass. Although it wouldn't really matter. It would just... Yeah, it wouldn't really matter too much. But I want to test out that new trailer of ours. It says it has a bale auto load feature on there, so I want to see how many bales it will load up for us. Usually, yeah, I'm not too sure how many it'll hold. It'll probably hold like 4 or 6 bales, probably something like that. Also, that top right-hand corner, we're almost finished that contract. I grab this little bit of hay oh, you can't even pick that up. Interesting. Okay, well then I won't pick that up. Contract is finished. So what I think I'm going to do... Well, let's do this real quick. Let's collect that cash before I forget. And I'll go get that tractor in a second. Okay, so we're back up to about 70 grand. I mean, we could buy that field. Although I don't want to do that just yet. I don't want to do that just yet. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of wait out the winter and just see how everything goes. I still just want to really focus on the horses and the goats. We got to get more goats, and I don't know exactly how many more horses I want to get just yet. Since all the mares are pregnant, I think I'm just going to wait till they all, until they all have their offspring, and then we'll kind of make a decision from there. Also, from that point, the horses will be, they'll probably be at some of there'll be a couple that are at most of their max value, and then once that happens, we can kind of make decisions if we're gonna, part ways with like Groovy or something like that, and then keep the new offspring. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I also kind of just want to keep testing out my new strategy for the next year. As long as I can keep the animal's health up, I want to just take note, and I'm going to figure out exactly how many months it takes of riding to take a horse from zero fitness, zero, yeah, zero fitness, and get it up to 100%. And then once I have that data kind of in the back pocket, what I'll probably end up doing is we'll get a whole bunch of horses. As long as their health is at 100%, I'll just leave their riding and stuff down. And I think I don't know. I don't know if I ride them each month, if their value actually goes up, or if their value will go up just over time. And then when I start riding them, we'll be able to hit max value. Because if I can do that, if I can do it where I just kind of leave their riding at 0%, but I keep their health up, maybe what I can do is like just have animals up until the point where they're almost going to be sold. Say it's 3-4 months away, kind of like I talked about. Go ride them for 4 months, get the fitness up, boom, they're at their max value, and then that way I could have a whole bunch more horses, essentially. But if I literally have to ride them every month to keep their value at absolute max, then we're gonna have to just stay with like a 8 to 10 horses and kind of go from there, if that makes sense. It would be too much riding each day. I wish there was actually, I don't know why the mod doesn't work for me, but it doesn't. It, as you can tell, every time we go up to the horses, their riding is at 0%. So I don't know. I don't know which mod or how to use it so that I could get some help, or I could hire like a worker to help ride the horses. Not 100% sure. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kick out, if I can, I'll kick out both these hay bales. One should drop off, slow and steady. And then turn this baler back on, and let's do some grass. Now the grass bales I might just go dump right into the sheep barn or the goat barn right away. I mean, they will eat hay. I don't think it really matters. I haven't tested it, but I don't think it really matters if you feed them grass or hay. But I know the horses won't eat grass. They got to have hay bales. I think horses actually quite like alfalfa bales a little bit, or more of an alfalfa content in their bales. I think. Maybe if someone knows horses a bit better, they can confirm or deny that. But that's what I believe. Get this spun around here. We gotta go get that other tractor and bring them back. It would have been nice to have two tractors doing this. I could have had one cutting, tedding, and windrowing and all that stuff, but we can't really afford to buy a new tractor. There's nothing good in the used vehicle section. No good used tractors or anything like that. Not that I probably would sell a tractor or buy a new one. Maybe. If a tractor came up that had over 200 horse, maybe we could sell the 4755 and then get that. I don't actually know what we would. What's the value of this tractor? 42,000 bucks. I mean, if a good one came for sale, because you can get those ACGO tractors. They don't have the ability for a front PTO, but we don't really need it. I've never needed it on this tractor, and I don't think we'll have any implements where we really need the front PTO. Those tractors will be like 225 horse, or the like Dietz Far tractor would be 230 horse. So if that came on sale, it might, that tractor is 89,000. If you could get it on 30-40% off and we could sell this tractor. That might be a move and just give us a little extra horsepower for the future if we wanted to maybe get a different planter or just a slightly bigger set of cultivators, like those Prolander 7500 cultivators. That's a good set. They require, I think 190 horse. So this tractor would probably pull them, but I don't know. Well, yeah, all these fields are pretty flat, so it probably wouldn't really. We could probably get away with this tractor pulling those cultivators for the most part, especially our fields because they are quite flat, I think. But different problems for a different episode or even just a different time on this farm. Maybe even a different gameplay series. We might not need any of that stuff to be on. But all just kind of if and when. Yeah, we don't really need any equipment. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this off. I will get, well, you know what? Before we end this episode, let's go test out that new bale trailer and let's just see how many bales it'll hold, how the auto load feature and everything works on it. It'll be a little bit handy for us. Let's kick these bales out of here. We'll head back over to the farm and we'll go grab that trailer and we'll just test that out real quick before we end this episode is kind of what I'm thinking. Pull on through here. Drop that baler right there and let's go hook onto that trailer. Test it out. I don't know how many bales it'll hold for us. I think maybe 6. Might be able to get 6 on there. We'll come over and we'll test out our new drop-off area, or our new bale storage area. It really isn't that much different than the other one. The other one was $2,000, and this one ended up costing $5,000. When I sold it, I got $1,000 back, so we lost a little bit of money. But okay, so usually what we got to do, turn on crop sensor. Usually you just got to push. See if that'll work. There we go. Okay, let's see how many bales we get on this unit. Three is 25%. Will it really do like 12 bales? Now, these are all the same size. It doesn't matter if they're grass or hay. They should pick up all the same, as long as they're the same size, I believe. Anyways, 8, 9. Good Lord, are we going to get all these bales on there? Well, would you look at that? Perfect amount of bales, perfect trailer. Unbelievable. Okay, so usually now, if I pull through our little drop zone, there we go. There's our bales right on. That worked out pretty good. And we should be able to just turn. Ooh, well, we kind of ran into that trailer. That's my bad. I just want to test real quick. Actually, I'll just leave that there for right now. If we were to pull out a bale, how it would pop out. Oh, where I gotta go to. Where do I gotta go? Oh, right here. So let's say we wanted one of our grass bales out. Oh. Yeah, so if we wanted that, what we would have to do is scoop, and unfortunately we'd have to kind of go around, because I'll just show you, if I grab this with super strength, say we scooped it up and we tried to go through here, yeah, it'll just automatically put it back in. That's fine. If we want bales to be put in, we just got to either kind of come from this side with our tractor, scoop them, and either go around this way, which is a bit of a long way, but that doesn't matter, or spin around this way and kind of come back over here. All right, let's grab this tractor and head back to the farm. And yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll end episode 11 there. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you know how much I appreciate it. I know this video is going to come out in a while, but at the time of the recording, we have finally hit 1,000 subs. We're currently at 1,002 subs, which is unreal. So thank you to everyone who's hit that button. Yeah, thank you so much. everyone who supports the channel, everyone who watches and likes and comments and does all that stuff. I say it every time, but I truly just, yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys very much. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. Hopefully you come back and I'll see you on episode 12. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Have a good one, everybody. If you haven't done so already, go check out the Discord. We're always getting new members in there, and it's awesome to see new faces and stuff in there. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you on episode 12.